Hello and welcome to Veil of Isis. Hopefully it's all not too loud. Let me just check that. Oh, it's good. And big news, I guess this is the greatest Christmas present. New faction for Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. It is now open for everybody who has a copy of Supreme Commander Forge Alliance and has FAF installed. Nomads are now one of the featured mods, so you can play with that. And that mod is basically the latest version of the game plus the new faction, which is the 5th faction. Not many games have 5 factions. And this is one of the first games with this faction officially released, where we have Silver Eye versus Chosen. Chosen going with Siren. Second Air, most likely Gestures. And Silver Eye going with the Nomads, if you haven't seen these before. They, the style of them, it's obviously it was made by different designers who made the original game. But it's very impressive. I think even if it was one of the original factions, it has its own style. It's more of sharp edges, but it is kind of, somebody mentioned, more like a Fallout. People run around on crazy maps on like trucks and machine guns on them. It's all kind of rusty colored. So a bunch of gangsters in the desert, which is fitting for this map. That's the way I like to think about this map. I have seen one sentence game with it where they were quite impressive on water. Their navy was quite impressive. Their Tech 3 tanks do float, which makes them quite nice. They have a number of experimentals, which one of them expected to be pretty good. It's kind of experimental, even weaker than the Spider, and looks quite nice. It's kind of in between Tech 3 and experimentals. And it does go underwater, it doesn't go on water, unfortunately, but it is quite powerful. Still haven't seen how it matches up against others. For example, 2 versus 1, how well it would do. It definitely would be outranged by the Chicken or the GC. There's also a fatty style of experimental, and I think people should definitely check it out. It's like so much new stuff. Looking at this game, a very aggressive Mantis. There are some medium tanks here, which should be taking care of it. And this will suck for Silver Eye. He's not going to get to finish his Hydra. This Mantis is doing damage with 2 kills so far. Early rating going to Chosen. Chosen going to 3rd Lance. Still nothing out of his air factory. He has to do something because there are bombers for Silver Eye. I will slow this down. Silver Eye decided to go air as well, and he's got bombers. And actually these bombers, haven't actually ever got a chance to play with them. But Napalm, when he played against me, he told me they were, well, you can see that right there. They're very impressive. They're taking what the Seraphim bomber can do, where it throws bombs out of nowhere, where it probably shouldn't be able to, and it does it. And it's actually here. It's like missiles. So you can see these bombers absolutely devastating Chosen here. It'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't want to call anything OP at this stage of the game, because it's a unique faction with its unique weaknesses, and obviously if it has some strengths, doesn't mean that they're overpowered, because we got to figure out how to play them and where their weaknesses lie. One of them is they are not really a faction with a whole bunch of health. For example, they're a medium tank. Even though it does float, it doesn't have the range of the Aurora, and it has weaker health than actually the Mantis. So straight up against Cyber in a land battle, I think the Mantis will dominate him. Also, Auroras should dominate him just like they dominate anything else. So they got to do something special, and actually one thing that they do have for early land, one of the units is, it's a tank destroyer, specifically for that. So this is longer range than the Aurora or anything. Very long reload. See, 60 mass, it's a little more expensive than all the other tech ones. Very long reload, very long range, so that might be a necessary unit if you want to be able to compete with other factions in straight up Tech 1 land battles. Of course, so much of your game is that battle. If you get beat early on at the Tech 1 stage, then it doesn't really matter what else you can do. There are a lot of very good players who are very good at that stage who will beat you, and then if you can survive, they won't know what to do next. So, although usually if people are very good, they'll still be pretty decent at all stages. Appears to be a huge pause here for Silver Eye. He's paused everything. He's getting mass extractors to Tech 2, so choosing to tech up. He's also got some gunships. Of course, Nomads Air does have gunships. It's a gesture-style gunship. Now bombers from Chosen. And actually this is one faction which could be also quite vulnerable to bombers. It isn't like the Aurora where one pass will kill them, but it will leave them with only 60 health after a pass. Chosen being pretty aggressive, trying to deny mass extractors, but in terms of map control, slight advantage for Silver Eye here. Minute 7, we have another front where we have Silver Eye with the Nomads ACU. I'm not really sure if he's got any upgrades, but definitely very cool upgrades. Hope to see some in this game. Actually, let's check if Silver Eye has got any yet, but just to look at them. There's the sniper mode and improved locomotor. These are the early upgrades you can get, either long range or a locomotor. And we got the gun, multiple gun upgrades. Also an Intel probe, that's also quite cheap. I'm not sure if that would be worth it in this game. An orbital bombardment, something I've never seen, but maybe someday. The commander is now going to deny the Hydra, so Silver Eye beginning to take map control. Still looks like Chosen is in better shape somehow. Spamming air, and actually Chosen doing something very surprising. He's skipping Tech 2 on a very small map. This could be a very big mistake. It seems like he feels he's in such a good shape that he can completely neglect Tech 2, go to Tech 3. Tech 3, of course, takes a long time to get, and this is why he's suffering right now. And it's also quite expensive when you get it. Chosen, you can see these units, Loyalist 480 mass, Brick 1200. That, for an eco, that's only at about, what was Chosen at? Plus 15. Yeah, you can do the math, it takes a long time. I mean, 100 seconds, well actually 300 seconds, sorry. If you're making 15 mass, you need 450, whatever that comes out to. 30 seconds will get you that, yeah. So you need 30 seconds of just mass extraction to get a Loyalist, which is actually not bad. But that's the only unit you're going to be making. Every 30 seconds you can get a Tech 3, and he already has one of those. Of course, Reclaim does change that. You can get a little juicy mass, get an earlier Loyalist. But now, with a couple Loyalists on the field, as long as Chosen keeps him away from the ACU, he's going to do a lot of damage. In this case, I think if you go Tech 3, you got to get your ACU on the enemy ACU and get your Tech 3 land elsewhere, because you don't want to be engaging the enemy ACU with your single, very expensive Tech 3 units. You do not want to be overcharged. Silver Eye, meanwhile, running in, and that now Chosen's base looking very isolated. I think this is just a strategic thing that Chosen isn't doing very well. I think these Loyalists over here doing all kinds of damage to Silver Eye would be great, while Chosen defending his base would work out much better. But now Silver Eye is just going to walk over Chosen's base. You see, actually, this Loyalist doing a good job staying away from Silver Eye. Might have some success killing. There's actually other Loyalists. They're trying to keep their distance from Silver Eye. See if Silver Eye actually has power storage. That would be a great target. Can't really tell what units are supposed to look like here. That energy storage? Yeah, so there's energy storage. This would be a great target. But now the Loyalists are beginning to do damage. So both players doing significant damage to each other's bases, but now actually Chosen doing a good job with his ACU, grabbing a couple more mass extractors also. It's extremely even now. It will be a question who can kill each other's base first, but losing this Tech 3 land factory would be very devastating for Silver Eye, and he also seems to have some air problems, a massive air force here for Chosen. And actually a complete base, well, that was the power storage destroyed. 15 kills for that Loyalists, and really not much that you can do here. There's some anti-air turrets as well, and gunships now against the Loyalists. So that Loyalist needs some protection, which is right there, and it's not helping him. Silver Eye is now taking on, actually Silver Eye is in huge trouble. Looks like he's taking out all the mass and power. There's factories here as well. He really needs to be able to overcharge that Loyalist. He needs to get the power storage, which is just been complete. See if he gets that overcharge off. Yep, there it is. So a split second right there, just before Chosen destroys it once again. And now Chosen with a single Loyalist here. I think he has Silver Eye's base at his mercy. Meanwhile, Silver Eye continues to get hit from the air. What is he going to do here? A point defense here would be perfect. Actually, yeah, that brick is a problem. He needs another power storage quick. He does not want to be taken on a brick without power storage. But I think the other best thing is making Tech 1 point defenses right next to the factory. So when the brick comes out, you're going to get a lot of firepower. Also some land coming out for Chosen. And Chosen, let's see, actually a split screen might be a good idea on this one. The Silver Eye deciding to reclaim. See if he can reclaim it faster than the brick can be constructed. And actually Chosen sitting, he's got 4 mass extractors and no power. Chosen has 0 power, so I can't imagine him finishing this brick. It's a huge mass. But looking at Silver Eye, he does have a little bit of power, so he's way ahead. And here having 1 power generator against somebody who doesn't have a power generator is absolutely huge. And Silver Eye does the right thing. He needs power. There's absolutely no problems with mass. This right here is about 3,000 mass he can reclaim anytime he wants. He needs to get his power, he needs to get his build capacity, he needs to save as many engineers as possible. And Chosen here is got an engineer, 4 mass extractors, ACU, and a loyalist. That is not good, and this is good for Silver Eye here. He's going to use his tanks to raid. He needs to deny as much of these assets as possible. Looks like mass extractors are going to be lost. This engineer trying to get a hydro, perhaps a factory. A factory would be really nice for Chosen, but of course, to get a factory, you need some power. Chosen is likely only plus 20, so he needs to get a couple power generators. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do 2 P-gens and then a factory. This loyalist here, 52 kills, an absolute monster. And now Silver Eye is going to get some fresh factories. And I got to say, this is so much mass here for Silver Eye. It's basically a dream come true. Yeah, and that T3 factory tactic sucks. And it was really because Silver Eye was aggressive enough. There are players against whom that would have worked, who would have this advantage and just stare. But I think Silver Eye isn't a player you can do that against. He will punish you for it, and he just did. And now Chosen, he realizes he got no power, which is bad. And that's the problem. Tech 3 isn't better than Tech 2 because it's more expensive. It's really, you need the infrastructure to use it. More power. Now Silver Eye is really beginning. He's going to get a lot of build capacity and a lot of power, and from that you can exponentially grow. Chosen are very much behind. And here raiding is worked very well, both by this loyalist with that 57 kill right now. He could deny as long as he avoids the ACU. And air control for Silver Eye. Huge, because now he knows exactly what's going on. He should know where that loyalist is. Perhaps Silver Eye can get a power storage and take that out, because losing that for Chosen denies any kind of raiding from Chosen. Would love to see. I think Silver Eye is going to go in that direction. Let me get rid of this mode. So people asking for zoom-ins. Here's the loyalist. That's what it looks like. From far away it looks like a dot, but this is a very special dot. 58 kill dot. Chosen are getting more land factories. And it looks like once again the ACU for Silver Eye. And this is where I think the locomotor would be really nice, because the loyalist is much faster. Oh, this could be bad. Is there a power storage? No, there is no power storage, so I think this loyalist will be able to run away. Meanwhile, Chosen is also getting his base figured out. Doing the right thing, and total recon for Silver, who is not getting shot by flak. He needs to save his air. 65 kills under gunship fire. Trying to run away from Silver Eye. So really one of the next steps for Chosen, of course, is taking care of air. He's going to go in the air factory next. At this point, I think the mass extractor is complete waste. All you need is land factories, tanks, maybe tech up, and power. Just go ahead and reclaim. Another raid coming in, and it looks like this loyalist actually gaining health because it's such a huge veteran, gaining 15 health per second while getting hit by these Tech 1 gunships. And now these gunships should be scared off by the Tech 1 flex. Still map control in Silver Eye's favor, but he's got to be very careful. Still a single unit here for Chosen. We'll be able to dominate quite a few of these early land. And actually bombers here would be really nice from either player because it's still at early stage. Killing these engineers really sets you back. Meanwhile, the Loyalists regroup, 68 kills. Perhaps another assault. And Silver Eye now moving in with his ACU. We also see Chosen with his ACU. And actually here, Silver Eye, not a standard situation. He could get himself in trouble if he doesn't have power storage, which, yeah, he's got some right now. But if he goes up against the ACU and some Tech 1 plus the Loyalist, and he screws up a micro and doesn't have power or something, he could die. That happens often in games like these. But I think here, minute 20, we can officially say we do have a base switch. So a complete base switch, very even map control. Silver Eye is probably slightly ahead. Perhaps a little more reclaim as well. Let's check out 7300. Power problem. So this is where, yeah, building mass extractors instead of that, having a couple power generators would be a lot better. But now it looks like his eco, very good shape. But 7500 reclaim, Chosen, 7600 dead even. So, but Chosen's huge mass deficit, which is crazy given how much mass he's got. Looks like he's upgrading to Tech 2. And now Chosen with the ACU is going on an assault. Once again, the Loyalist is going to go kill things. This is very good placement from Chosen, avoiding the ACU. Knows the ACU is somewhere on the left side. Take the Loyalist to the right, and it will get free kills. 70 kills for that Loyalist. Gunships en route, but of course to kill this unit, it's going to take quite a few Tech 1 gunships a long time. And we should see air now coming out slowly for Chosen. Chosen going in with a Tech 1 assault force plus ACU on the left side, raiding with a Loyalist on the right. Yeah, now this is where that overcharge, if he could have overcharged it right here, but he let it go. And this Loyalist now 76 kills. Since that, probably got about 30-40 kills. You could say Silver Eye would have completely won. He would have had much better map control. But now, Silver Eye getting an upgrade, he might get surprised here. I'm not really sure what the upgrade's going to be. We'll definitely check it. It needs to be something offensive, otherwise he's in trouble. Or if he has locomotor, maybe he could run away. Not really sure what that is yet. Let's see. Appears he's got Tech 2. Yeah, he's got Tech 2 engineering, so a little more health, but no offensive weapons. Of course, he now significantly more health than Chosen. So it's probably unrealistic for Chosen to do much to him. Actually, Chosen might consider running away. Although here, oh, that was close. I think it was an overcharge in some fire beetles, so suicide land units from Cybern. This is where, in an open field, very dangerous against Cybern who are at Tech 2 land. If you leave your ACU out, you will get suicided. Quick Tech 1 point defenses from a Tech 2 engineer and ACU. Very good move. Meanwhile, our power storage goes down. Silver Eye's freshly built base is now under assault from that Loyalist together with some Tech 1 units, and Chosen now controlling both sides. It's right here. 91 kills. I don't think this is the greatest Loyalist in history. There have been some excellent Loyalists in the past on some maps, but this is definitely some of the ones should be remembered for a long time. 97 kills. I've seen him get up into a few hundred before. And now this is dangerous. This is a lot of fire beetles. If Silver Eye gets surprised, he's getting tactical missile launcher, Tech 2. So cruise missiles from Silver Eye. Meanwhile, he still has major problems here on the right side. Multiple Tech 2 mass extractors. A little disappointed people investing in eco in this type of situation. I think you want to take your advantage and go with it. Especially, I don't really actually understand why Chosen isn't attacking. He must be very protective of that Loyalist. Feels like this is enough map control for him. He does need to push it. Perhaps exactly what he's thinking. On this side, we're seeing Jester, so a Jester snipe is a possibility. But Chosen needs to scout because here come the cruise missiles now from Silver Eye. And where are they flying to? The Tech 2. There's a single Tech 2 mass extractor. It's really the only good target. Plus the Tech 2 land factory is also a good target. And really nothing else. The Loyal is being pulled to the other side. This completely opens up the right side. I'm not really sure why Chosen has done this. He's given up quite a bit. He's actually going to give up this engineer and get quite a bit of reclaim. Chosen appears to be set on an assault. He has some hoplites. He's got the ACU, plenty of manti, gestures, a couple fire beetles, and looks like the hero loyalist is there as well. Silver Eye is at Tech 2, and he does have Tech 1 point defenses. So you got to come in and kill those first before you send in your manti, because they'll get cut up very quickly. Interceptors from Silver Eye will take care of the gestures. Oh, and the loyalists overcharge from Silver Eye. That's a crushing blow, but it looks like Chosen really wanted to take out that missile launcher. He did. He's going to push Silver Eye off that position. Silver Eye actually quite a bit of trouble. Silver Eye 68 kills. Chosen full health. Silver Eye needs to attack units. He needs to get some. He's got some Tech 1 tanks, 72 kills total. And it looks like Silver Eye was able to survive. This is a Tech 2 point defense. That's why Chosen forgot to kill this. Maybe it's because he's not used to the way nomads look, but that's a huge mistake. I think if he would have finished this, and that was a good overcharge, I think that may have just saved his life there from Chosen. More units coming in from Chosen, but Chosen, with that assault, he did push Silver Eye off this position. He kind of gave up the right side. I think Silver Eye can go ahead and take it, but he's lost his loyalist. That loyalist all by himself could have done so much good for him on the right side. He did absolutely nothing on the left side. He just got overcharged. I think Chosen was going for a kill, and now he's getting bombed. He's got more hoplites. Some Tech 2 flak would be nice. There isn't any on the way. There's actually no build capacity on that Tech 2 land factory, which is unfortunate. I think Chosen is going to finally do that. Chosen now retreats under massive. Oh, this is good from Silver Eye. He's going for the kill. Tech 1 bombers versus ACU. Chosen trying to dodge. Appears that he's able to do so quite nicely. So that's perhaps one weakness of these bombs from nomads. But it's very difficult to dodge when they all come from different directions. And Silver Eye gets the victory. A victory for nomads. I think it's a great faction. I think so far, really like what we see. We didn't get to see too many cool upgrades. But this game, that's why this game has so much replayability. You can see 10% of it, and you get a full experience. We've only got a glimpse of nomads here, but hopefully many great games in the future. Hopefully people enjoy. Hello and welcome to Phenom's Party 8 version 2. And once again, it's great news, great Christmas. The nomads are here, the 5th faction. And this is going to be a massive game, 5v5. You can see some of these names you might see, like Voodoo, Chosen, Combo, Nuclear Storm, Oxy, Coacher. So really good sides. Let's see how they get on, like Guile says. And Oxy going still, yeah, this is definitely an air factory because it's different from that. Still trying to get used to the way that all the different units look. You might see some craziness because of that. Of course, this is also the new patch, so the game is different slightly in the balance and things like that. But looking at this is stacked so many levels. Just a Nomads test game, really. No one will be at their best. So, Combo, the top side, it appears that they're just taking it easy. They do have Kosher, Combo, Lord Monster, and just Sad. Not bad players, but of course on the other side you got people like Chosen, Triple player I don't even know, the Blade, Nuclear Storm. No, this is, I guess it's stacked for the top side. Maybe that's what Combo meant. It's actually not that stacked at all. I think it's going to be good. I think it's just Combo saying. So don't believe everything that people say when they talk about stacking. Because it's always a modesty competition in the lobby. It takes a lot of modesty to get on a good side. So far, I haven't actually seen this map before. It's a lot of different crazy things happening. But I'll try to look for any new units we haven't seen. Definitely in the Nomads I've played. I've seen Tech 1 land, Tech 2 land. Still haven't seen what the EMP tank does. I've heard great things about it. In terms of air, I only really seen Tech 1. Those Tech 1 bombers are quite nice.
Now we might see some of the first fighting here. Voodoo getting control over the middle. Still no. Actually, this is an interesting thing on this map. The little defensive position looks like that engine died, but it already got its mass extractors. Now Tech 1 bombers. This is Cyber. Cyber and destroying nomads here. Oh, that would have been awesome. A triple bomb would have been beautiful. The Chosen trying to get on top of Just Sad. Chosen also moving in with his ACU. Take 1 point defense to retreat to. Taking the halfway point. On the other side we got Combo and Oxy, both playing nomads. One thing, if you haven't seen before, this Tech 1 artillery also can do anti-air. So the same unit for artillery and anti-air. Very slow rockets. Pretty big splash, but if you dodge them, it should be quite easy to counter. And on this map, it looks like you can be pretty aggressive with ACU. There's always a place to retreat to. Voodoo pushing in. He's also nomads. So besides nomads here, we do have some Seraphim and Cybern on the bottom side. And on top, we got all out nomads. To the bottom side, getting a few different techs and see if that makes a difference. So all out nomads from the top. Just Sad. Oh, he's definitely got some upgrade. See if that's working out. Appears to be a gun upgrade. This is the second gun upgrade. 3,500. Actually, I think this upgrade might be doable. The power is pretty big, but I think you can get it at Tech 3 stage if you get a couple Tech 2 power generators. But this first one, definitely a range increase. Fire rate increase, but he is taking on 2 different ACUs. You can see Frank Ablu has pulled across. Another cool thing about the wrecks from Nomads is that they're all white if you zoom out a little bit, so you can tell where the Nomads died versus where all the other factions died. Combo retreats. He's under fire from Artie. Haven't seen that tank, Tech 1 long-range tank, make an appearance, but I have a feeling that will most likely be resigned to Tech 1 land fights. Maps like Open Palms, where you have 1v1s perhaps in rank, could make a slight difference. Or on Theta. Love to see some competitive 1v1 games on Theta. To really see micro and things about Tech 1 units there. And now Voodoo and Kocher, together with Nomads, moving out against Nuclear Storm. Nuclear Storm and the Blade bringing gun to the fight. You can see this Artie is taking such a long time to fly through the air. This gun from the Blade, I know playing as Nomads, facing Seraphim with the gun can be a very big pain. But it appears that a huge numbers advantage, and Nuclear Storm's got to retreat quick. Not sure if Kocher or Voodoo have any upgrades. I don't believe they do. Chosen, meanwhile, with Tech 2, really, oh wow. There goes Nuclear Storm. That's the first victim in this game. Meanwhile, Chosen moving in, and he does have some suicidal units. Just Sad is gonna. Oh, that was so close. I think there was one more that he shot with his gun. One more bug there, and he would have died. Very close. And he just shot it at the last moment before it exploded. So really nice to see those fire beetles be used. Here, minute 9. It appears we did lose one player, no give, so 4v2, a victory for Nomads. Also, a whole bunch of Tech 2, and these are fighter bombers. I've not seen this unit before. It's pretty crazy. Kocher retreats, Tech 2 point defense, Voodoo, 11 kills. So this game's still not in the official version. It's, in case you're wondering, it is one of the featured mods when you're hosting a game. But I think once people figure out if it's balanced, not balanced, what to change, you eventually should make it into the game where you get the ratings. But I think this is one good way to play non-ranked games. A lot of people don't want to get their ratings screwed up, so go ahead and play this, and then don't even choose Nomads if you don't want to play with them. But I think it would be very interesting. Well, another idea that would be nice is if there were civilians on some maps that were Nomads, and you can capture that tech. Maybe that's the way you can introduce it to the official game, maybe on the ladder. some of the ranked ladder maps. Of course, that assumes quite a bit of work from people making maps and things like that. Pretty big push here on the left side from Oxy. He used that combo. He's kind of stranded all alone in that pond. He might be in a bit of trouble here with Tech 2, Tech to Air, or even engineers making some torpedoes in this water. It's a Tech 2 point defense. What happened to Franco? Oh, I missed the fighter bombers. Looks like they're effective. And the bottom side on this is one great thing about this thing that I'm assuming Pilot has fixed, the desync window. You can actually push a K and it goes away, which is just magical. We also see Tech 2 bombers now on the other side. Looks like Oxy is under fire. He's going to run and hide next to Oxy. These appear to be very similar. Oh, wow. Quite easy to dodge, appears. That's like a Janus. I thought for a second they were like... oh, wow, there goes combo. Who's yellow? I think that was friendly fire. That's pretty funny. And now gunships. These gunships actually do have torpedoes. Torpedo gunships. And they're flying too far away, dropping their torpedoes on land. Some of these, it looks like they are a little buggy. You gotta throw them into deep water, otherwise they don't work. But it appears that it was friendly fire that killed Combo. And now we need some interceptors if Oxy hopes to survive, because I think eventually these torpedoes, when they fall into deep water, they do make it, and they will hurt. 2 missiles from the blade. Meanwhile, Chosen here. On the team with only 3 people, Chosen, but he's going to get a little extra eco. We got the blade in the middle and Oxy. But of course, now it is a 4v3. Coacher is going to get an extra base, but he's under constant pressure from Oxy, and Oxy has survived. He does have a Tech 2 ACU, he's going to regenerate pretty quickly, and some flak now. And these torpedo gunships seem to be much more effective in much more open ponds. And these bombers are very nice. 1,000 health, so very similar to regular. I think Janus a little better. I'm not really sure what they are. Okay, once again, the desync window. Press OK and it goes away. Magical. This upgrade we should have had since 2007. See Tech 2 missiles from Nomads. So far, Cybern with Chosen absolutely dominating just sad here. Vulture trying to rebuild on the Blade's old base. Oxy has survived getting some upgrades. In the middle, very even, the Blade just continues to, now he's getting an upgrade. I'm not really sure what it is. Perhaps something on the back. It looks like it's nano. He's got nano regeneration, so he might go on a big assault here through the middle. He's got massive Tech 1 forces, and I think this is quite weak right here, especially given this ACU. I think he's got to go as soon as possible. He can do a very nice assault through the middle, and he does have Tech 2 flak, so his Tech 2 air should be denied. And we do see Tech 3 now from Chosen. Loyalists, actually quite a few of them now. Tech 2 Paragon, Tech 3. Looks like all this has gone to Oxy, so Oxy also with a decent situation. Oxy now, he did get some other upgrade, I'm not really sure what it was. He's still at Tech 2. And he's got one of the guns. So Tech 2 and gun from the Nomad ACU. And the Blade getting yet another, so perhaps getting Tech 2. I really think without Tech 2, she just gone in with the nano and gun. And then now, the Tech 3 assault, the Loyalists running past everything. It's one of the most beautiful units in the game, the Loyalists. Very quick and very powerful, can take on Titans, can take on any Tech 2 unit. Also has some TMB, and they can dodge bombs pretty well if you take care of them. But you do have to take care of them. It looks like these bombers have both a Corsair type of bomb and Janus type of bomb, so they do both. And this right here, EMP tank has frozen. We just saw the EMP tank I guess if it shoots you, it freezes the unit, can't move anymore. Very effective against the loyalist that was no longer able to dodge. Meanwhile, a massive assault here from both Blade. Very disappointing that Blade, he got that nano for defensive purposes, but now he's making it hard. I think he could have made a nice push. But the top side losing quite a few units, getting pressure from multiple fronts. One advantage that the top side did have was air, and it looks like they no longer have that. Very nice tech to air from Voodoo is now going to be denied. Plenty of air from both Chosen and the Blade here, minute 17. We're now seeing Tech 3, and these are those heavy tanks that do float on water. Very long reload, but a lot of damage per shot. Also 6,000 health, which is quite a bit. Oxy here with a shield to protect the front defenses. So these Tech 3 tanks, they will make an impact in Navy. We'll see those many times. I'm sure there'll be discussions about whether or not they're too strong, too weak. Here we see Bricks versus Tech 1. The Bricks are going to have success, but a major Tech 2 force moving in as well. Here with SAD. ACU for Chosen here. Tech 2 with the shields, Tech 2 front defenses. Now we're going to see this Tech 2, the heavy tank, against the Brick. Isn't doing too well. Got a lot of missiles in the air. I don't think we were given these Bricks from Chosen. There's really not much you can do. Tech 1 and Tech 2. Voodoo seems to be throwing units in this direction as well. It's a successful defense with this Tech 3 from Coach. We gotta remember Coacher is on a double base, and he's producing Tech 3 land. So this Tech 3 land from Coacher is gonna grow very massive very soon. Although Oxy also in a similar situation, so we're gonna see Tech 3 tank versus Tech 3 tank for Nomads. Meanwhile, actually we do see some of these here as well, but Bricks don't care. They don't care if you're a fifth faction. They'll kill you anyway. So definitely not OP versus Bricks. Bricks, of course, the health is 12,000. That's also one of the better, it's a little less. So double the health of one of those floating tanks. So actually, that is one disadvantage for Nomads. But one thing they do have is this Beamer. So this right here, 28,000 health. And it isn't as expensive as the Spider. So this is now the cheapest experimental. So I think not having the assault unit like the Brick is going to be fixed by having that experimental. Oxy with the overcharge. Let's see what upgrades Oxy has. Tech 2 and gun. Oh, and he's also got the locomotor, so he can run very quickly. You can see how quickly he's running. So you can leave the battlefield very fast. You can outrun experimentals or Tech 3. So usually the ACU, once you get an ACU and you see an experimental, you know you will get caught. And while I'm talking here, major Tech 3 assault from Seraphim here, from the Blade, and a Tech 3 gunship. I haven't seen this before. Tech 3 air from Nomads, first time I've seen that. Meanwhile, here comes the smallest experimental in the game. 28,000. So 3 overcharges will kill it. It doesn't have very long range, and now strats. That's what that strat looks like. So far it looks quite even. See what impact this experimental makes. It's just above both, well, it's not just, probably could take on 3 or 4 Bricks at least. It would actually be interesting to see it go up against some Bricks. Bricks here for Chosen. Actually, they do have this base in sight. The Beamer has just been started. There's also a massive Tech 2 force and protection, as well as gunships. So these Bricks do have to be careful. See what that Beamer does. This Beamer can go underneath water. More tanks. Well, we have the build-up stage, and here we do have the Bricks versus Nomads. Here come the super heavy tank. This is the Nova. And actually, with numbers, those Bricks do have to retreat. Lord Monster, right? did he die? It's a fact that he did. And that sucks for just Sad, because his force was protecting, the monster's force was protecting. And now we do have a 3v3 battle. It's a big disadvantage for the top now because they don't have one of the bases. They do have a lot of reclaim, actually quite a bit of reclaim here, but just Sad needs to figure something out. And hopefully this beamer can protect him. Meanwhile, Tech 3 and the Blade is under assault from Tech 3 Strat Bombers plus Tech 3 gunships. The Blade does have nano though, so the strongest ACU is trying to get into the water. He needs to get into the water. I don't understand why he's not. He could have been in the pond, but he's not, so we do have a 2v3. Another victory for Air from Voodoo. Got a kill with Tech 2, now you got a kill with Tech 3. Actually, we got a friendly kill with Tech 2. And here comes a Spider. The Spider versus Beamer. And the Beamer is causing quite a bit of damage. Beamer is under a shield, and the Beamer, yeah, it's quite a bit weaker. But with a little bit of shields and micro, the Beamer gets a victory. Very important, but Brick's also following up. Beamer down to 7,000 health. Does have nice range. Cannot range the... oh yeah, the Beamer definitely very nice against assault bots. So nomads, they do have some very nice units. And what is this? A missile tank. So this is another experimental like the Beamer. I actually think this one's a little more expensive. If you look at all the different experimentals. 22, so this is a typical price. This is like a Spider price. And the Beamer is 13,000. This is actually cool, a Comet experimental transport. So if you want to transport your entire force in a satellite somewhere, you can do that. That's another experimental. So it's kind of like the donut, but you can put land units in it, your AC unit. You love to see those late game drops with the Comet. That's going to be very nice. I really love to see it on settings. And here's the Fatty analog. I think this is actually stronger than the Fatty from Nomads. And here's the missile tank. Quite a long range, and this is probably like the missile ship from Aeon, but on land. Most likely will take quite a few shields and TMD to protect against. The Beamer is now going in toward Chosen. Chosen getting the Megalith. But I don't think there's an analog for the Megalith in the Nomad's arsenal. And here comes Fatty. Well, actually, this is the Bullfrog. A massive cannon, a lower fire rate than the Fatty. Much bigger health and no shield. Huge amounts of health. And this could be a problem for Coacher if he doesn't figure that out. There's also quite a few support units here, tanks, and Tech 3 anti-air. This is the best anti-air unit, mobile anti-air unit in the game. Expected to do very well against these gunships. Should do Bullfrog quite a bit of trouble. And that single Tech 3 did not save, and that's very unfortunate. Once again, Tech 3 air from Voodoo saves the day. But Coacher with pretty big losses. Meanwhile, this missile tank doing damage across the map. Megalith is finished. I think it is in a position to go ahead and walk in here and kill everything in just Sad's base. Be very disappointed if it doesn't do that. It is making flag for itself, something that isn't usually done. The Megalith can drop eggs, which can act as factors. And the Bullfrog for Coacher nearly complete. And now Gunship's moving in from Voodoo. He's going to try to get yet another kill, but I've seen Tech 3 anti-air here from Oxy. Oxy's still under heavy assault here. And it was as easy as that. Oxy is defeated. Chosen is now all alone. I think he's got the Megalith to at least kill just Sad. Or is just Sad's ACU? I think he should have went in before that Bullfrog's finished for sure. Now it looks quite bad for Chosen. Of course, Chosen, one player we've seen, can play very well under pressure. See what is done here at the end. Here comes the Megalith. Waited for the Bullfrog. I guess sportsmanship-like thing to do. Could have been much better for Megalith went in. Now it does have a lot of support, bricks. And this Megalith just needs to come in and kill the Bullfrog. I believe it should have more health. Actually, the Bullfrog quite a bit of damage. The bricks should save the Mega. Oh, so close. Very unfortunate for Chosen. I think that was his only real chance. He's got major things coming in his way. Although the bricks are still alive, so they'll still do damage. Chosen, what does he have? He has a little bit of air, a couple more bricks, but he's got major Tech 3 force coming his way. And here it is. This is a satellite. Let's see what Poacher decides to put in it. So definitely looking at nomads. They're slightly different design. Maybe not as clean as the original factions, but it could also be that we're not used to looking at them. And it's nice to see that they're not just a copy, a completely new thing, with new ideas and new weapons. Tech 2 gunships, doing pretty good for Chosen, giving them a little more time, a little more eco. But this right here, the missiles, like that there. Somebody did mention the trails and everything. They just look a little out of this game. They look more like Supcom 2. I think that's not a huge deal. After all the gameplay is what's important, and there's definitely new gameplay introduced. The Bullfrog, meanwhile, we did see is quite powerful against the Megalith. Not many experimentals can do that, but I do think it was also perhaps a mistake going more micro from Chosen. Maybe he was just waiting for the bricks before he wanted to engage, but Bullfrog, long range on his gun, and Chosen is now losing his base. Really sure where he's getting. Thinking about getting an anti-nuke, but right now it's just basically, what is this, loaded up? Tanks. Satellite's getting hit quite hard. It does have a laser. It died very quickly. I'm not sure if this is the way it was supposed to be meant to be used. But we can see now Chosen underneath this wreck. Actually, I think there's a whole bunch of, these are a bunch of tanks on it as well that are wrecked. Chosen surviving as the nomads. They're completing the extermination of this planet. And now the Bullfrog. What is this? The Big Bertha. Oh yeah, the Big Bertha has made its comeback. Right, the Arms Annihilation. That was awesome. And this is actually, it seems to be even more expensive than the Maverick. I don't think you want to start building that. Nice to just see this game be put out of its misery. And Chosen, minute 39. The last player to be killed. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and hopefully people play Nomads.